Hi, my name's Nelson from Holman RV, located on State Route 32 in Batavia. I'm going to do a walkthrough of the Cougar. This is a Keystone Cougar, and the model number is the 34TSB. We're going to start with the outside, and then we'll go inside. This is just a computer of your in-command center that'll demonstrate inside, that controls everything in your camper. This is the hose that comes with it for your quick disconnect water hose. This is an override in case for some reason your battery's dead or your jack doesn't operate. Then you pop this rubber piece off the top, and that goes in there so you can manually crank the jack up and down at the front. You have 3 lights in here. This controls the light inside and the light out front, the yellow LEDs at the top. So at your jack, you have retract to go down, extend to raise it up, and you have a light here in case you're leaving early in the morning or arriving late at night at your campsite. Inside this is your tanks, and you can see that this is pointing to the left tank right now. So this is the one that's on, and this is the one that's going to be off for now. So once you run out, you still have a whole nother tank. You just flip this around to the other side, turn this one on, and then turn that one off. Inside of this compartment, at the very front, is, if you hit this power button right here, that turns on your leveling system. You have a complete leveling system on this camper, and your directions to run that are right here. So once you disconnect it from your tow vehicle, you can hit the auto level button and it'll automatically level. It'll tell you success on the screen, and this also has instructions for reconnecting the trailer to lift the jacks, and it will return to the hookup position. So just follow these instructions for your electronic leveling system. This is the control boxes for your solar panel, and that's the shut-off switch or quick disconnect for your solar panel that's on top. And it will you have a solar panel on top that charges your battery. Your battery box is right here, and you have a separate quick disconnect for your battery system. Now, even with this off, there's a propane carbon monoxide detector that will always be connected, so there will always be a small draw off the battery. But with your solar panel, you shouldn't have to worry about that. Okay, you have endless hot water. This is an on-demand water system. So this on-off switch here, this is just the electric to light the gas to do your instant water heating. On-demand water. There is no tank on this one. This is a tankless, on-demand hot water system. This is a docking station. Your quick disconnect hose would go here. I'm sorry, your quick disconnect is here for your shower system. This is also for your other hoses. So with this handle, it tells you city water connection. If you follow the instructions that are on here, to fill the tank, put the left handle in the left nozzle like that, and when you're connected to city water, either at home with your nozzle or at the campground, you have this in the down position when your water's connected. This is a black tank flush. You have to have your sewer hookup and the black handle pulled before you put water into this black tank clean out. Otherwise, you're going to have a mess inside to clean up. So always make sure you follow that caution. Your key for this one is called a 751 key. This is just an additional hookup if you add an additional solar panel. You have two slide outs on this side. That is part of your leveling system. This is your rear jack. Now these are only made to go 12 inches. So if for some reason your auto level fails, it's probably because you're trying to extend these too far. You may have to put some wood blocks under them and retry the auto level. Okay, this is your 50 amp cord hookup. Once this is connected to your camper, you plug the other end to your 50 amp. Right now we're running off of 30 amp. This pigtail or bone, dog bones, so they call them, is included. This changes it from 50 amp to 30 amp. Now when running off of 30 amp, you can only use one air conditioner at a time. If you're plugged into 50 amp, you can run anything and everything you want. At the back here is where you put in your cable connection at your campground, or if you have a satellite, this is where that would connect. So once you flip this up, you can run your cable cord through here and connect to the cable TV screw here, and then all the jacks inside of the camper work off of that system, just like running cable into your house. And that locks with the 751 key as well. You have a spare tire and you have a hitch. This hitch is not made for towing another vehicle. It is illegal in Ohio to triple tow. However, that is made for bicycle racks or the flip-up racks. You have a ladder here to get on the roof. You do want to get up onto the roof at least twice a year. Beginning and end of the season, you want to get up there and you're going to check the main seal across the back, and you have a main seal all across the front, and anything that's mounted up there will have caulking on it. So inspect all the caulking for any possible cracks that might let water leak into that roof area. If you do see any cracks, if you get the die-core self-leveling caulking, you just spread that over top and it will fill in the cracks for you. This is another outside shower. Now if you do your own winterization, make sure you include this on your checklist. Both the one on the other side that I showed you earlier and this one would have to have the pink stuff run through it to complete your winterization. Okay, you do have an outdoor mini kitchen here. You have a, in order to release this, I have to use both hands. 1 second. You push both of those blue knobs down and slide it out to the locked position. Now you have a gas quick disconnect hose. It comes underneath and connects right there. This little lever, when it's in the forward position, the gas is on, and when it's on that side, the gas is off. And that's just a quick disconnect so that runs off the propane tanks of the camper instead of having to have a separate propane tank. To slide it back in, push those red buttons, push it in until they click and lock in place. You have a mini fridge out here. It's been plugged in a while. It's good and cold. You also have like a mini freezer here for either the small ice cube tray to make some ice, or ice cream bars, or whatever you want to put in there. Okay, you also have an outdoor hookup for satellite or for cable, and an electrical switch there as well. You have outdoor speakers. Now when you run your radio system inside of your camper, this will be one of the zones you can choose from. We'll go over that when we get inside. That's the other leveling jack. And again, those are made to go only 12 inches max. So if you're on unlevel ground, put wood boards underneath to make it level, or so that the auto level will work. Okay, when you're traveling down the road, you just lift up on this handle and put it in the closed position. when you're at your campsite, that handle becomes a stabilizer when you go up and down your steps. Now to put these steps in and out, your door has to be all the way open, because this piece is going to be on the frame of the door. So when we lift your steps up, they go in and sit on that frame and go to a locked position with that handle straight up and down. To unlock it, just move that, pull the steps out and down. You have two awnings, and you have LED lights in each of the awnings. So we're ready to go inside. That little box on the wall with the little green light, that is your carbon monoxide and propane detector. So that is the one I was telling you that is always hooked up directly to the battery, even when the battery is in the off position. You've got your island and a spacious kitchen area. And we'll get to all of that in just a moment. We're going to go to your main control box. Let me shut this door so that there's no glare. There we go. Now on this iCommand, once it comes on, it's going to ask for a 4-digit code. The default code is 0000. Now if something is on, it will have a blue line around it. So the water pump is currently in the on position, and when we touch it, that blue line around it goes off. That means it's off. Same with the interior lights. So you can touch interior lights and water pump, and this is telling you what your battery level is at. It's currently at 13.5, which is perfect. It also gives you an indication of the level of all your tanks. So right now we can see there's about a quarter or a third of water in your freshwater holding tank. There's a little bit in the black from flushing the toilet, and your grays are currently empty. So you have 4 options on these settings. This one is for your slides and for your awning. So you have your kitchen slide, your sofa slide, sofa and dinette slide, front awning, and rear awning. So these are very easy. So your front awning, to put it out, touch out. To bring it in, touch in. Now you do have to touch and hold these buttons during the entire time that they're moving. The one that's marked sofa slide is the very rear bedroom sofa slide. The one that's marked sofa dinette slide is the one that's right here in your kitchen area. Let's go back. So now we choose lights. So you got 3 main options of your lights: bedroom lights, ceiling lights, and awning light. And they're all currently in the on position. So you just simply touch to turn them off. Touch them to turn them back on. Press the back button to go to the main menu again. Now we can go to climate. Now in your particular unit, you have a vent above the bed, but the front air conditioner is optional, so you do not have a front air conditioner. So when this one says front AC optional, you do not have one in this particular unit. So if we hit this right button, it'll change to the rear AC. So you do have a rear AC, and this will also control your heat. So right now we're in the off mode. It's in the off position. So when we touch it, the first option is fan, the second one is cool. The zone, it's currently reading that it's 70 degrees in here, and it's set at 70, so it's not going to kick on at the moment. Your sensor is your sensor for the zone reading. You can case you're wondering what this little thing is back here by the door, this is the sensor that measures the current temperature in this area. So since it's at 70, we have to set it lower. So we'll push this button to go to a lower number, and now our AC will kick on. So you just heard the AC kick on, and all of these white vents that are in the ceiling are vents for your AC. That includes the ones in the bedroom, and so the vent system in the roof comes all the way to the bedroom. So even though you don't have a front AC, you'll still get a little bit of air from that rear air conditioner. Now you can also schedule this for a start and stop time. So refer to your owner's manual for that to set your times. So if you know when you're coming back, you can set this to turn on when you come back from hiking or to the from the store. You can set the time to have this started, and it will cool off up on you. It'll be cool when you arrive. Oh, it'll time itself out automatically, so you have to touch the screen to get it back on. Again, your default until you reset it is 0000. Let's go back to climate. So that's the front one that you don't have again. So make sure that it says rear AC up here. So now let's change this. Before we go to heat, we're going to go to off, and we're going to let that air conditioner turn off. Alright, so now let's touch this button again, so until it says heat. So now it's set at 64 and it's currently 70, so we now have to set this above 70 to get the heat to kick on. So let's tap that till we get above, and let's wait for the heater to kick on. Okay, so under this panel where these vents are, that is where your heating system is at. So you'll hear the fan kick on first. That will blow any air or any propane away from the heating element, and that click that you just heard is now the flame to heat up the chamber for your heat. So that fan will continue to blow the heat. So you have registers in the floor that you can start feeling the heat coming out. Let's go back to our panel. Now if we touch it, you touch it until it says off. Now the reverse will happen. The flame will go out, but the fan will continue to run for about 20 seconds until all of the heat is pumped away from the unit and into your camper. And in a few seconds that fan will kick off. Still blowing. We'll go ahead and continue the walkthrough to save time on this DVD. Let's go back to your main panel. Now this far left one will return us to the main screen. Now under settings, there's a variety of things. You can connect to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. You'll have to check your owner's manual for some of those specifics. But to change your passcode, you'll go in here to change it. We're not going to change it right now. We're going to leave it to default. Let's leave it at 0000. Timed out on us. Let's go back. Now we're back at the main screen. There, the fan just kicked off on the heater. So let's go to your kitchen next. We have the Furion residential. Now this will run off your battery. You have a converter that changes it from 12 volt to 110. So while we're plugged in, we've been plugged in a while. When it's closed, the doors are locked. So there's a little finger push each time that you open it to open the refrigerator and the freezer. They're nice and cold right now. Your control for your refrigerator freezer is right here. Now this does not run on propane, it is electric only. So right now when we're plugged in, you turn it to a higher setting. Now when you're traveling, they want you to turn it down to 2 or 3. It says off grid right on there, so you want to turn it down to there when you're traveling. That way it uses less of the battery and you can go further distance. To turn the unit off, simply turn this all the way down to the off position. Your stove has a glass cover, so when you're traveling, make sure it's in the down position, because otherwise you'll hit a bump, that glass may break. Right now we're going to light these, so we're going to put it back up. You have a light here for your, when it's in the middle position, it's in the off position. When it's up, these blue lights come on to indicate, well, when you turn it on, it turns to red. So if you see all blue, you know that there's no propane going through there right now. If you flip this button to the bottom, now these lights and your oven light are on. So to light your stove top, you turn it to the light position and click turn the spark igniter to get it lit, and then you can adjust the flame. Let's try another one here. That's how you light them. Now for your oven, it's a little bit different. You want to open the oven door, turn this to the flame. Now it's kind of like a gas fireplace. We have to push and hold in on this button for the oven, and we have to prime the pilot light. Now the pilot light lights off of the same clicker. I'm going to have to use 2 hands here. Hold on one second. So now if we look underneath, you can see in the back that the pilot light's lit. Now when we turn it to a number, you can see the whole thing underneath lights up. So turn that all the way to the off position, and they're all blue again. I'm going to go ahead and put the glass plate down and turn those lights off. So good storage. You have an additional light above the stove and a fan. You also have another push button light right here. Any light that doesn't turn on with your master control panel, there's a center button on and off. This is a residential microwave, just like your one at home. It does have a glass plate. When you're traveling, I suggest taking one of your dish towels and wrapping it around that glass plate while you're in travel. Okay, your unit is not winterized right now, so we can demonstrate the water. So we'll turn the water on. You have a hose here to move to either direction, and if you press this button, it changes it from constant flow to spray. There's an additional switch here for your ceiling lights. Now we go into your bunk room. These are solid bunks. So you have 2 bunks here. They do not move, so you don't have to worry about changing them any positions. You do have USB plugs for both of them. You also have a push button light for the bottom bunk. On this one, there's a hydraulic arm that raises the upper bunk so that you can use the couch. This couch will also fold into a bed. It's a scissor bed, so you simply lift and push. So now we're in the position for a bed. Let's raise it back up. lift and push at the same time, and it goes back up to a couch. Now when you're traveling, I suggest leaving this upper bunk in the down position to take the pressure off those gas arms, plus it's more sturdy in the down position. Okay, now we go to your sound system, your TV, and your fireplace. So we have 3 remotes for that. So one remote's for your smart TV. One remote is for your sound system. So when we turn on the power of the sound system, or push it here, okay, this is where I was explaining about the zones. So we have 2 zones. So zone 1 is inside, zone 2 is outside. If you ever turn this on and you're not getting any sound, it's because you have not selected a zone. So zone 1 is inside speakers. We'll turn that one back off. And now we have a remote for the fireplace. So you have a power button. Now your indicators for your functions are up here. So when we hit that one, for the top flame one, you can change the colors of the flame for your visual pleasure. The one with the 3 lines on it, that's going to be your heat. Now each time you press the heat button, okay, it'll change your temperature setting. Right now we're set on 82, and you can feel the heat rolling out of there. Now that's to turn the heat on. To turn it up and down is this bottom up and down arrow. So when we hit that, now you can see that you can set it, every time you push it, it jumps up by 2 degrees. You can also set a timer. So you have up to 8 hours. And to turn the heat off, you can hit the one with the 3 lines again. That turns the heat off. Now it'll continue to blow until the heat is away from the element, but then it'll go back to just the lights. You heard that click, the fan just kick off. Power back down. I'm going to put those 3 remotes inside the drawer where all of your paper manuals are. It's the top drawer in the kitchen island. Okay, on your sofa, you have a heat and vibrate button. And you have some USB plugs for your cell phone. So that one's the vibrate. You can hear it a little bit in my voice. And that one's the heat button. You have more storage in the back. Deep storage. Okay, in the center, now you have a separate switch for all the lights up here, on and off, and it also has a dimmer switch. So now we're ready to go. We'll go into the bathroom next. You have a dual entry. This goes all the way into the bedroom. Now when traveling, Just make sure that this is snapped so that your door doesn't slide and bounce around. You also have a nice big glass shower with deluxe controls or deluxe fittings. Now when you travel, make sure that both doors are closed and you have this rubber strap in place to lock them in position. So you don't want to break those when you're traveling. Make sure those are secure when travel. On your toilet, if you push the pedal partially down, it fills the commode with water. So now you can do your number 2 just like at home, and then fully depress the pedal, and it flushes it down into the black tank. This is also where you would add your chemicals into your black tank to break it down. You have a light switch here. Now this is the panel for your instant water heater. Like I was explaining before, since it's instant on, in order to get this to go, you turn on the hot water only. If you turn on both hot and cold, the cold is going to confuse the sensor and you're not going to get any hot water. So to get hot water, turn on the hot water. You can see the panel kicks on. You can see that the flame turned on and now it's heating up. So as that temperature goes up, now you can feel the water getting very hot. And then once you feel the hot water, now add the cold to adjust it to how you want it to feel. But when you initially turn on the hot water, turn on hot only until the system gets you hot water, and then add cold to adjust it. Moving on to the bedroom. Okay, you do have a backer that's marked here for an additional TV that you can add in the bedroom. You have the cable hookup and the electric hookup. You also have a vent here. It does not have a fan, but you can crank that open for ventilation in the bedroom. You have additional USB plugs for cell phone chargers and electric outlets on both sides of the bed. And you have a center light that clicks on by clicking the center of it. And you have a window out front, which is rare for campers. And if it's too light and you want it to be dark, it has a pull down shade. Just pull it down by hand. And you can let it back up for full viewing in the front bedroom. You have an additional switch here to control the main ones that are in the ceiling. And that concludes our walkthrough. Thank you and enjoy your camper and have a great day.